I want to sit down and press record before I start scrolling on X and seeing other people's opinions and what other people are saying. I just got done watching WrestleMania XL Night 1, and I want to talk about like my initial thoughts about it. I'm not going to give you like a super in-depth review, but this is just like a first gut reaction of it. The pace of the show felt very quick. It felt very quick. There wasn't a lot of intermissions or any segments or anything like that. It was very wrestling heavy, which I totally don't mind. It's something that I see constantly complained about when we're doing Monday Night Raws or Friday Night SmackDowns. You know, we constantly hear, oh, we had a wrestling show with only 11 minutes of wrestling, because a lot of the time WWE is very storyline heavy. It is a very story segment kind of cinematic driven product. I'm also realizing I didn't point out that I am cosplaying as Chelsea Green. I'm Chelsea Green because I was Chelsea Green on stream. So hi, Chelsea Green is going to give you her review of WrestleMania Night 1. P-Head Pierce. I had said from the beginning that this was a very unpredictable WrestleMania where I didn't really know what exactly to expect. In general, I really enjoyed WrestleMania Night 1. I really did. I think the outcomes of most of the matches were phenomenal. I think the action in the ring was phenomenal. The only thing initially that I feel like I can say was lacking was crowd interaction. And that's kind of fair because honestly, the crowd was cold. Like, it's cold in Philadelphia. You heard Michael Cole saying multiple times that it was 45 degrees with the wind chill. They were cold. I said halfway through the show that something did feel off. I don't even know if off is the right word. It just didn't, the best way that I could describe it was that it didn't feel like a WrestleMania per se. It felt like a very important pay-per-view, like an Elimination Chamber or something similar. But a WrestleMania, I don't know. I feel like 39 definitely had more of the glitz and glam or the pomp and circumstance of a WrestleMania. I did have people in my stream obviously talking about the negative aspects, the negative things that they didn't like. This was boring. This was too slow. I opened X for literally a moment, saw two things about how the main event sucked, how this sucked, how that sucked. And honestly, I'm going to be straight fucking up with you right now. I'm just drained of it. I'm so drained from it. I won't lie to you. There were moments of the Rey and Andrade, Dominic, and Santos match that were a little bit of a lull for me, pretty much from the beginning. A lot of the times in the beginning of the match when the build is happening, I have a hard time really honing in and paying attention. The same honestly goes for the main event. I felt like the beginning was very slow. However, all of that made sense as it started to pick up. I can't help but wonder sometimes if we set ourselves up for failure, because a lot of the things that people predicted would happen, the big things that they predicted would happen, did not happen. I understand the frustration with that though, and the disappointment, because this is WrestleMania XL. It's WrestleMania 40. You would anticipate that really big things would happen. It is only night 1. We still have tomorrow and could have a lot of things that could occur. But one of the main points that I think I saw a lot of people make were, oh, I expected Rikishi to show up during the Uso versus Uso match. Didn't happen. Some people were predicting that Stone Cold would show up during the main event tag match. Didn't happen. So how much of it is our fault? How much of it is their fault? We are ushering in a new era, and I just feel like the excessive criticism, the excessive negativity is just, I don't even have words for it. It's disheartening. It's disheartening. It makes me a lot of the time not even want to talk about it, because I just get so excited about certain things in matches. And while things don't always go my way, I don't feel the need to tout about how fucking terrible something is, or oh, this sucks, or they don't know what they're doing, or what the hell was that. I feel like I can convey in a very straightforward, honest way that this didn't feel off and this didn't feel as important, but overall it was still a very good show and the performers did a very wonderful job. And in my opinion, we did get a surprise of the night, because holy shit, Gunther and Sami Zayn. I would say that I didn't have it on my bingo card that would be my match of the night, but I feel like anytime I have Gunther in the ring with anybody, it's the match of the night. So I both of them in one ring, obviously. I had predicted that Gunther was going to win and he didn't, but it makes sense. it feels so important. Sammy moving into the role as the Intercontinental Champion leaves room for Gunther to move into a bigger main title picture. I had said that I think that Gunther deserves that, but I didn't want him to do that while he held the Intercontinental title. I don't want any double title reigns. Now, Rhea and Becky, I did get correct, but I still really enjoyed the match, and Becky was sick and still put on a hell of a show. The 6-pack tag ladder match I thought was also incredible, and another point where people were disappointed because they had set themselves up for this notion that the Hardy Boys were going to show up, and then they didn't. Even still, it was a great showing. Those boys worked their asses off. They were going through tables. They were doing crazy spots. We weren't totally sure whether they were going to keep the titles together, whether they were going to split them up, or if they were going to merge them. And I think it's very cool that they split them up again. I think it's really cool that we have two completely new sets of tag team champions. Entrance of the night for me absolutely had to be Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. They put on such a showing. It felt so important. The music, the way it ushered in their outfits. I might be a little biased because I wasn't totally into all of the Philadelphia Eagles themed gear, even though I understand because they were in their stadium, they were in their city, but I don't know, the flashiness of the three of them just felt super cool. Commentary worked really well off of each other tonight. Corey and Pat were honestly kind of ganging up on Michael Cole quite a bit. There was a portion at the end main event where Pat McAfee and Corey Graves were acknowledging the tribal chief, and Michael was not. He was sitting in the center without his finger to the air, and both of them were kind of razzing him about how basically their paychecks happened because of Roman Reigns. I know without looking, which is another reason I'm making this video first, I know without looking that there are going to be a lot of people criticizing The Rock's performance in the ring. I personally thought he did a phenomenal job. I thought they all did. The Rock has not been in a match, and I honestly can't even tell you when it was. I would have to look, but he did great. He stepped right back into it. It felt important. The way he connected with the audience, the way he connected with the chemistry of those in the ring. When he took the spear from Roman Reigns unintentionally, sold it, he was all purple on his arm. He actually was bleeding. You know, I can look at this card, I can look at this show, and I can find a lot of things that I genuinely liked, and I just don't have the energy to completely rip it apart like I know a lot of people are. I truly am finding myself like drained, and I don't want to put that negativity out there. You know, I don't want to do it, but it's just me being real and it's me being honest. And I'm excited to see what night 2 has in store. I'm still very optimistic. I do still think we could have some surprises. We might not have as heavy of a wrestling show tomorrow because there aren't as many matches. We might get more segments and things that happen in between the matches, and maybe it'll feel a little more like a WrestleMania. But I think change is a good thing, and I think trying new things is a good thing. And I would implore you to remember that. Please remember that not all change is a bad thing. Trying new things is a good thing. You can mildly criticize, you can feel how you want to feel, but don't run around completely tearing shit apart. Those people actually went out there and worked really hard, put on a good show. I just felt like being honest and kind of shooting on that. So there's my shooting the shit review of WrestleMania XL Night 1. See what we have tomorrow.